So much to look at with all of this. Our business editor, Xolani Mbanjwa, has been watching it all very closely here at the Brics Summit in Sandton as well. Xolani, good afternoon to you. Well, I don't need to tell you this. The two big issues today, the Brics expansion, the 6 new members, and, of course, the idea of trading in local currencies.
Good afternoon, Stephen. Yes, indeed, the two big issues that we spoke about here on Newzroom Afrika on day one, they have been resolved, with the expansion of Brics being a massive talking point. And of course, I expect that in the next few weeks, months, Brics at 15th Summit is going to be topical. It's going to be one thing that many news outlets, many political formations, and many world organizations are going to be analyzing, because it is growing. Now that it is growing in January 2024 to 11 members, that is quite an important part. And what we need to hear from the leadership here at the end of this particular day 3 is what is going to be happening between now and January, when those countries actually join. What was a surprise is Saudi Arabia. We had expected that Saudi Arabia would be among those countries whose applications would have been considered, but it's been quite an interesting time here, looking at the international media that is here, international analysts that are here, trying to figure out exactly what this means for the geopolitical movements in the entire world. There's still a lot of hive of activity here, with many movements of leaders in and out, but the number one thing on that expansion is what the president of the country, Cyril Ramaphosa, said earlier today in that declaration, announcing the formal declaration about Brics Plus. We don't know what it's going to be called, but this is what he had to say.
We have consensus on the first phase of this expansion process, and other phases will follow. We have decided to invite the Argentine Republic, the Arab Republic of Egypt, the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, the Islamic Republic of Iran, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates to become full members of Brics. The membership will take effect from the 1st of January 2024.
But of course, Stephen, you will know that the use of local currencies when it comes to trade is probably the most topical issue here, the most important issue, and that is because when you look at the fact that countries like Saudi Arabia would want to actually trade in their local currency, even the news outlets have been saying that the United States has actually begged the Saudi Arabia as an exporter of oil not to use new currencies, but to stick to the US dollar. The dollar is going to be a talking point in the next couple of months, because this is a big move. What does it mean for Brics countries? It will be fostering that unity amongst them, but strengthening the local currencies as well. And there will be a lot of analysis coming over the next couple of months about what this means for South Africa. Will the rand, which it has been said is not valued according to its right value, because it is undervalued, even if you ask the Reserve Bank Governor, Lesetja Kganyago, he believes strongly that the rand is undervalued. So the use of local currencies is going to be a big talking point, and this is what President Ramaphosa had to say earlier on when announcing that particular decision.
We have noted that there is global momentum for the use of local currencies, alternative financial arrangements, and alternative payment systems. As Brics, we are ready to explore opportunities for improving the stability, reliability, and fairness of the global financial architecture. In this regard, BRICS leaders have tasked their finance ministers and central bank governors, as appropriate, to consider the issue of local currencies, payment instruments and platforms, and to report back to the BRICS leaders by the next summit.
The 15th BRICS Summit has been described by some as bold in its moves to move towards de-dollarization, something that the whole world is looking at, and it's going to threaten the dominance of the United States in global politics, particularly when it comes to the US dollar being the benchmark for most trades around the world. These moves are quite big, and it's going to be huge talking points over the coming months. Back to you, Stephen, in studio.